Hello, welcome to the Journeyman. I am the Professor. Every week we jump on here, we chat all things rugby league, and we have a bloody good time. Sadly, this week we are down one member, Tobias. Toby Rudolph is not with us. He had training today. Gents, who are the Sharks playing and what day?
They played Newcastle on Sunday. But I called Goxie, but his car's at the mechanic. Otherwise, he would have drove down.
Oh, he would have been here for sure. Jeremy Latimore, welcome. Jimmy Maloney, welcome.
Thanks, mate.
How are you both?
Mate, honestly, don't ask. Never been better.
We basically just did the show out on the street, so we're all a bit flat now.
There's so much to talk about in rugby league this week, isn't there?
Oh, my God. there
Holy
is.
moly, the circus of rugby league continues.
It's a 24-hour thing now, right? Mm-hmm. Was it when you guys were playing?
Yeah, I
I
think
suppose
so.
it was.
There
Yeah.
was less mobile phones in our early days and less going on, but towards the back end, everything was mainstream.
Yeah, that's right. Not anymore. There
That's
is
why
a
Jimmy
million.
Maloney went to England. Escape it.
Is that right?
Not really, but yeah, we'll run with that. I was just tired. My body was banged up and I needed a slightly easier competition.
You need touch footy over there. I get it. Not a lot of defence happening over in the UK. Brand new sponsor. Well, no, they're our sponsor for the year, Better. We love them. Thank you so much. You'll have a Better multi today. How did it go last week?
Mate, we were very close.
That's a loss.
Yes, but we were close. So we had obviously one of the try scorers, Murray Tuolangi. Cowboys scored the tries required. Poor old my man Tommy Dearden just let us down a little bit. But hey, it's a winning system. So we're very close, and I think we're going to stick with that system week in, week out, and we will be profitable.
Beautiful. We'll come to Maloney's multi a little bit later on. Yes, Jerry.
He's been asking me to call him the pirate this week. He's missing one leg of the Māori. Get it? Bad joke.
That is. What
He's
time
actually asked for my input on the Māori this week.
That's awful. God, he's interrupted the show for that because he thought it was a mad joke.
How long did you work on that one for, be honest?
It just comes to me.
Just then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Someone commented on YouTube comments last week. Shout out. I love looking at the comments when you rip into me and Maloney. It's always great. But you can tell Lachie has kids because he's not afraid to say whatever he's thinking. And it's just my kid brain. So there was a shout out. Shout out!
It's 3 shout-outs. I'm going to count them today. Just a reminder, you can book us for a live show. We are coming to Perth. We are doing a gig there. What is the gig, Jerry? We can use this. They can put this on their socials.
No, are we going to do that part now?
You will do it now.
No, but weren't we going to...
Rockingham. We're down at Rockingham. I'm not sure the name of the place, but it'll be Rockingham over in Perth, where it's the Friday after Origin 2 over there. So looking forward to get over there. We'll get more details to you. But we've got another one coming too at East Hills, 4th of July, in the process of getting pushed out. And
Galvin.
You boys are going to Galvin.
Professor's unavailable.
I am.
Jerry and Jimmy Maloney.
Me and Lachie will go down and have a bit of fun at the Goulburn Bulldogs.
That'll be when you blokes realise you don't need me. That'll be great.
You reckon we haven't noticed that yet?
Just remember, at Rugby League Journeyman, that's where you find us. All socials, get on there, like and subscribe, etc., etc. Today on the show, Positive Place. I thought we would do best thing about being in reserve grade for 2 years.
Shout out Lachie Galvin.
Talk about reserve grade Reggies. What a great comp it is. You can big it up for us, Latsy. You're very pro Reggie, so we'll get into that. Big Ballsy Statements, round 7. We'll have a look back at what you did in round 6, see if you got them right. The What If, Toby's new segment. It's not here. I'll give you a little what if, or maybe we can come up with one between us. Round 7 preview, quick little snapshot of what's about to happen on the weekend. These boys will pick you some winners. As a part of that, Latsy's awesome statsy. You were good last week. Your statsies were very good. I have to pay you.
What was the statsy last week?
He was just on. He had a statsy for everything.
I was rolling.
He was.
Because I didn't go with the system. I'd tell you 4 stats and go the other team. I stuck with it.
And did it win? What was your stat?
everything won, yeah. No, legit.
What was it?
I can't remember.
There was a really good one that was like 1 out of 10 times someone did something and then they did something else.
The Dragons won. That was 100% on the money.
Perfect.
Titans had one down there. Still having one down there.
As I said, also Maloney's Better multi, that's coming up. Definitely pick your winner this week. We might look a little bit at the clickbait collectors. There's a bit happening in the news, one particular story. But,
you know what I didn't see on the list? The Spencer Lenu and Thurston one.
Yeah, we can jump. We're going to have a chat about that. You guys might have some mail.
There's plenty going on.
It's
Rugby League, the greatest game of all. There's always stuff going on.
Absolutely. And then we'll finish with Jimmy's rumour or Trumor. That's always gets tongues a wagging. Have you got a good one this week, Jimmy?
Yep. I've always got some good ones. So, Yes, it's been getting a bit of traction.
Oh, mate, I had 3 people in person ask me over the last week.
Well, I had we had a True Blues, like the old Origin boys catch up and caught up with old Loz Daly. And he was telling me his son obviously must listen to us. Shout out Loz's young fella.
Shout out Daly.
And he was asking Loz who a few people were, but we can't give up our sources. So
You have become quite the journalist.
Mate,
Integrity.
honestly, mate, honestly.
Mate.
Doesn't matter how much truth there is.
what do you mean?
It's all about perception. They don't know. It could be
Mate,
rumour or trumor.
Well, you're making up like their lies.
Huh? I didn't imply that, mate. You know,
That's what you did. You said it doesn't matter how much truth.
Somebody's a little bit
They're all on the money.
on edge today.
Don't bag my sources.
Now, you guys went and had a coffee before the show
We spent a lot of time together.
to try and sort of iron this stuff out before we got on air.
Yeah.
Hasn't happened?
Yeah,
or?
but we like doing this for our fucking loyal followers and listeners, mate. They love seeing Lachie and Maloney go at it.
Sure. Positive place. Let's go. Let's talk about the news that's happened. Lachie Galvin's come out and said by the time I say this, people have heard this 1,000 times.
No way.
Said to the West Tigers, no thanks, don't want your contract. End of 2026 into 2027, he's going to play somewhere else. And then as a result, the senior playing group has gotten together and said, look, Benji, we don't want to play with him on the weekend. Big game, Easter Monday, taking on a Panthers side. Should be a sellout.
Parramatta, but
So what did I say?
Panthers.
Correct. Parramatta should be a
Parramatta
sellout.
Panthers.
Absolutely.
Panthers are playing at Parramatta's home stadium, so I see how you got confused.
That's how I got confused. So they've said, we don't want him to run out Combank on Monday. And so Benji and Shane Richardson have said, right, well, the people have spoken. And
Shane's picking the team now.
Well, what I heard was that Benji went and said to Shane, listen, Shano, mate, the boys have come to me.
He called him Shano too.
Shano.
They're
Hey,
tight like that.
Richo.
Shano, Appy's not happy. Jeromey's upset as
he's
well.
stoning.
They don't want him in the side. Shano said, no worries. First and foremost, we don't want to get too bogged down on this. Do you think that that's a good thing that they've put him into the reserve grade side? This is a positive place. Jimmy Maloney, I'm looking at you.
Positive. Well, on a positive, Lachie Galvin could spend time in reserve grade, and then really, if you look into the future, spending a fair bit of time in reserve grade, this could be Lachie Galvin in 10 years.
Let's go.
He could be the next Jeremy Latimore.
Don't put the toys out of the cot, Lachie. Keep them in the cot. Look at it as a learning experience. I had this chat with Toby the other week, Lachie, and he was looking at going to play for the Newtown Jets. I'm like, I always find the silver lining in situations, don't I, James?
You do. Absolutely,
AKA
Jeremy.
Professor. And you boys didn't agree. Neither did Toby. But thankfully, a player went out of the side and he got back in. I don't think it's going to happen in Lachlan's case. So you go back there, you bite the mouth guard, and you do your Colin best, kid.
If we're talking a positive, say, from the club's point of view, right, let's delve in. So if the club then goes, okay, you don't want to be here, he's still on contract this year and next year.
Yep.
So from their perspective, he's not going to be on, at the moment, he's not on a massive chunk of their salary cap. So from a positive, what if they say, if you're not going to be here, we're not going to develop you as a player any further? So they sit him in reserve grade for this year and the rest of next year. If he's played 18 months or whatever in reserve grade, he's going to go backwards. There's no doubt about
That's
it.
what got me.
His football will go backwards. What sort of stifled Jeremy?
Case A over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they sit there and they go, look, we've got him as a backup half if we need him. He's not taking up a whole lot, but we're not going to develop him any further. Does that backfire massively on him and his manager? And I think a lot of it these days, unfortunately, I think is based around halves. Like Dylan Brown's got a huge amount of money and stuff like that, and then they start going, wow, you're being touted as the next big thing. We could get you $1 million now. And to be fair, Tigers were going to pay it, weren't they? So
They were.
They said, no, I don't want to be there. So, mate,
No, it wasn't. I don't want to be there. I don't think I can grow under the coach, which is ruthless.
But, mate, so then if they just double down and say, okay, no worries, well, we won't develop you any further.
100%.
Mate, what could happen, like the trajectory.
The Reggies might win the comp.
Well, the change of trajectory on his career from going to where it could have been, if this plays out like that, Mate, who knows what it ends up.
So let me ask you, November 1st is when he can start chatting to other clubs. Let's say somebody, a Bulldogs or a Seagulls, they put their hand up and say, we want Lachie Galvin. How do they get him out of the 2026 contract?
Well, they don't if Tigers don't
can't?
want to let him go. If Tigers don't want to
But
let
can
him
they
go,
throw cash at the Tigers to take him, or
they can,
how's it
but
work?
Tigers could still just...
They can hold the ground.
They can just sit there and say no.
What
You're
sort of
done.
money?
Like you've already shown us disrespect. Like I don't know, beyond I think someone before said 350.
Yeah.
Not a huge amount.
It's a lot for a 19-year-old
Yeah,
kid.
but to sit there as a handy
turn down $1 million.
backup, that you know what, if you need him, you pull him back up.
I think they'll play Terrell May in the halves before putting Galvin back in the team.
Wow.
They're not going to keep him there as a backup. It'll be purely to make a point, which I don't think they will.
Just get your popcorn and watch it unfold. Who cares? Like, let's be honest, like everything about it's been said, but
Yeah.
So
let's
where's
wait
the
and see
fuck
how-
up here? Is it that, and I heard on Buzz Rothfield on one of his podcasts was saying it's 684 days until the end of that contract.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he technically couldn't speak to anyone else. So obviously, the Tigers were wanting to extend him, keep him off the open market. So that's why they're talking to him before this. He can't have spoke to anyone.
There was a thing.
Obviously, it's just come out publicly that.
So, but why wouldn't you just wait? Why have they said, even if they come to you and go, look, we've got $6 million for you?
The club brought it up, so they're probably.
But he should have said, can I
have a look at it?
concentrate on the season and let's look at it at the end of the season.
I don't know why you'd say it now.
It's bizarre, but
did you see there was on Fox Sports yesterday?
I don't watch Fox, actually.
No, it was on the Instagram. But
Gotcha.
The creative has done this thing. Gus is obviously at Channel 9 about all the comments that Gus has made on Galvin. Like, he's a superstar. You know, he's a kid you want in your team. Trying to imply that that's his way of recruiting Galvin without recruiting Galvin. Like, Galvin goes on his phone. He's like, look what Gus has said about me. So he developed.
So you reckon Bulldogs?
I think
short odds.
I think the Bulldogs, but have already got some good ones coming through their juniors. So.
They've got a gun half there, but that's what Fox were trying to imply because they're obviously competitors with 9. So trying to say he's doing it cheekily.
There you go, Lachie Galvin. Watch this space. As you said, Jimmy, get the popcorn out. Never a dull moment. DCE would be pretty happy.
Go down to Henson Park and watch him run around for the next 18 months.
It's not that bad, Lachie.
But how happy would you be if you were DCE? Because all of a sudden no one cares about what you're doing.
Mate.
So Lachie just wants the next one.
Talk about taking the cherry Akamesha off you.
Taking the daily cherry off you? Yeah, gotcha. Hey, great positive place.
What? It's cherry Akamesha. That's pressure.
Pressure, yeah, I got it. And then I tried to run off the back of that. I just want to go home. Okay. Wasn't overly positive, wasn't overly negative, but great segment, gents. You're rolling. Big ballsy statements, round 6. Do you remember what you did in round 6, gents? What were your big ballsy statements?
No idea.
Terrific. This week.
I think it was wrong. Whatever I said.
No, probably wrong.
I would have been right. No doubt.
So round 6, do you want me to go through what happened or do you just want to toss it up? Do you know?
No, I watched the games, some of them.
Okay, so Dolphins beat Panthers, Dragons beat Titans, Broncos lost to the Roosters, Sharks beat the Seagulls, Rabbitohs lost to the Cowboys, Eels got pumped by the Raiders, Storm gave it to the Warriors, and the Tigers got it done against the Knights. What did you see in round 6? What is your big ballsy statement? Jerry, you go first.
Well, actually, before a ball was kicked at the start of the year, I did say Knights is my wooden spoon choice. They spun.
You're what?
A wooden spawn. Wooden spawn. That is looking likely. They are struggling. They can't score points. So I'm just going to reaffirm. Reaffirm that half an hour wait out front hurt me. I'm going to reaffirm that the Knights will get the wooden spoon this year. Shout out, Frizz. I love you, boy.
So they're currently sitting in 12th on 5. Well, they're on 2 victories. So, I mean, the team Eels and Panthers have only won once. So, yeah, not much separating them. You go on Knights, wooden spooners.
I've got Knights as wooden spooners, yeah. Okay. 14 points. 10 points in their last 3 games they scored.
Good Latsy Statsy. Jimmy, big bold statement.
Righto. I went and caught up last week with the Cowboys boys when they were down in Sydney before they flew out. Cowboys have turned their season around, a slow start. They're into the bye this week, and then I think they've got a big chunk of games at home. Cowboys will finish top 4 this year.
Classic. Hey, Todd, can you give him his job back?
I'm not looking for a job back, mate.
Oh, don't yell at me, man.
Nah.
You're sensitive today, bro.
Making more money, working a lot less time.
Jimmy Maloney. Oh, yeah, my boy. Nice. Don't let me hang it. Come on, bro. That's us, man. Me and you.
Don't try.
Don't be going up to Townsville on me. I need you down here. Bring me some cash.
Okay, very good, bold statements. Love it. Nice work. All right, where do I go to from there? Oh, Toby's what if. Now, I did have a what if. Now, it's kind of
in a parallel universe.
no. Here's my question.
What if Lachie Galvin does turn out to be Jeremy Latimore?
Oh,
I hope he watches this and then just rings
bro,
Isaac and goes, I never thought of it like that.
Bro, 38, absolute MC hammer.
Here's my what if.
What sort of reference is that? Can we get some clarity?
Glamour. Don't worry about Cletus over here. He just got off his pony.
What if? My what if, I was just thinking, we've had these 4 in a row from the Panthers, this amazing dynasty, right? And it looks like they might have.
Dynasty.
Did you say dynasty or dynasty?
Dynasty.
Right in, dynasty or dynasty. Anyway, what would have happened if that Melbourne Storm team, if they never found the second set of books and the big 4 stayed together down there, the big 5 with you, Jimmy?
I might have had to stick around. I might have got a boat as well. And
You're already gone. You're already gone before that broke.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were. You're already at the Warriors. I was there in 2010 and we went down and played them.
I was down there, so they couldn't give me any more cash.
No, but the House of Cards hadn't fell by that point, so that's a lie. I've just down you out trying to bullshit.
All right, so that side, that amazing side.
Make heaps of cash.
That side, if you think about it, that side, they won 2 of those grand finals with GI there and, with their main side. They then went on to win another 2 once they did clear the books. What would have happened if they never found that second set of books?
So we're saying the side for the next 10 years involves Cam Smith, Bill Slater, Cooper Cronk, Greg Inglis.
Who else went?
Adam Blair.
Yes.
Manu.
Yep.
Siko,
Blair, like all that sort of crew.
How many titles would they have won?
Oh,
So
depends. They would have lost the 2 years that I won because they wouldn't have beat me.
Okay, so instead of 10, it's 8.
actually, they nearly beat you, and they were playing by the salary cap in 2016.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, they nearly beat you in 2016, and they were playing by the salary cap. So what he's implying is if they didn't find
they still wouldn't have beat us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they still would have lost.
So would they have won a stack is all I'm asking.
Yeah,
Would they have gone on to win?
I reckon they win 2 more.
Okay.
So how many have they won since? 2?
12, 17, 20.
12, so 3.
And
5 out of that.
25, and they win 25.
And
Yeah,
they
25.
Yeah.
All right, wasn't the best what if we've had, but it's not really my go.
Yeah,
I'm just filled in because
No,
Toby didn't
Toby,
show up.
hurry up and get back here. We miss you, bro.
Toby
Foxy,
goes
you
a
too.
bit more weird and he uses ChatGPT, which is a hell.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Righto, round 7. Let's have a weekender at this. Some exciting games coming up.
Isn't there?
I've handed you your teams. I hope you've done a deep dive into the research there. Eagles will take on the Dragons on Thursday night. Jerry, I'm looking over at you. Your beloved Dragons.
Mate, they're coming off a fantastic win. They give the Titans an absolute razzling down at Wynn Stadium where the Titans can't beat us. Manly, they're coming off a pretty poor performance against Toby and the Cronulla Sharks over in Perth. But back to Brookvale. So, I don't know. Dragons don't have a great... huh?
So they'll have him.
Well, Jerry's stats is... Dragons have a poor record at Brookie. They've only won 40% of their games. The money man is out. Christian Tuipulotu. Heard his Hemi doing that. 72 points. Though, the Panthers are the Manly Seagulls have leaked 72 points in the last 2 games. And the Dragons attack found its way last week.
Against Titans, they were pretty ordinary.
No, but they're going all right.
Well, I'm not taking offence, mate. You work in the commercial side.
Yeah, but
not
I
in
know
the
I'm
footy
just supportive
side.
on that.
You don't need to defend them, mate. It's okay.
Yeah, but I love the Dragons. You know, all my clubs.
Yeah, because they pay your wage. That's why you love
mate,
them.
it's not about. I'm not like you. You're
Okay, so you've given us these stats. Let's bring this thing back. All right, so you've given us the stats. Are you still picking the Dragons?
No.
No, you're not, are you? You're picking the Seagulls.
He just gives the stats that Dragons are shit at.
I am going to pick the Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they're going to go. So they're currently 1 from their last 7 at Brookie. That's going to be updated to 25% on Thursday night.
Righto.
Are you going to Eagles or Dragons,
Eagles
Jimmy?
will put on a clinic.
I sure hope so. Bulldogs, Rabbitohs. That is your first game
What a
on
game.
Good Friday. That's a cracker.
70,000 they're predicting.
70,000.
And the Easter show's on. Make sure you go there on Friday.
Fantastic. Do a little double.
Huh?
Go get
Oof.
yourself a couple
Get
of
the
show
cash
bags.
out.
And I
head
think
across.
if you've got an Easter show ticket, free entry if you walk across.
Is that true?
Well, Gus told me. So
Did he?
if you get to the door,
Oh, what a subtle way to drop the spoke to Gus.
tell him Gus. Tell him Gus sent you, and you can get him for nothing.
Gus,
Love it.
Gus Bus.
You got any
I
something
don't know
for
if
me?
that's true, but
Bulldogs and bunnies.
That's
Jimmy.
good from you, Jimmy.
Who's going to win?
Bulldogs. Yeah. The Bunnies, they're coming back from the trip to Perth. I don't think that's going to help. Bulldogs are flying. Big game, the Easter, what is it, Friday? Easter Friday. There's always good
We call it Good
crowds on
Friday.
that. So, yeah, in a packed stadium at Homebush, good crowd. They'll get up for it. Bulldogs will be winning.
Yeah, look, Jimmy touched on the Perth trip. They get Cody Walker back in the halves. They got the Pommy bloke on the bench, Lewis Dodd, so he may get his first opportunity. I don't know if they're carrying him because they're worried about Cody Walker. The Rabbits, interesting enough, have won their last 6 Good Friday games. So even last year they beat them on the Good Friday clash.
Do they
Sometimes
play Canterbury every Good Friday? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it's always those two teams?
always, yeah. It's like the Anzac Day game to the Dragons and Roosters. I think this is the only game in season that compares to that game in terms of atmosphere and energy. What do you
Have
reckon?
you played in either of them?
Huh? No, I've watched Good Friday. No, I have. I played in
Hold
two.
on.
No,
This is the
I played
only-
in 2 Anzac Day games, bro. The Dragons,
Yeah, but you haven't
benchy.
played in a Good Friday, so how do you compare?
I've seen it on TV. It looks
Wait,
mad.
so you haven't even been to the crowd. You haven't sat in the crowd.
I was at last year. I was
Oh
at
my
the Easter
God.
show next door, and it was raging.
Mate, what a call. Mate, this is the only thing. That's unbelievable.
Anyway,
Well
Good
done,
Statsy, who
Latsy.
you picking?
and Jerry, this isn't my stats actually. Bulldogs have conceded only 14 points in their past 3 games. So I'm
Why,
going to go.
why is that not your statsy? Why is that different?
No,
to
I've
all,
got more
everything
stuff
else?
coming after, bro.
Okay, sorry, bro. Who
I'm
you
gonna
picking?
I'm going to go the Bulldogs and shout out to my boy Kemsa Ruddo. Let's go.
That's 4 shoutouts.
Five, buddy.
Dolphins Storm. That's your Good Friday night clash.
Sorry, can I just jump in here? You remember Warriors used to play the Melbourne Stormers on Anzac Day? Why are they not playing them now? They did play last week, but that used to be the other Anzac Day clash.
So they're not doing that next week? No?
Yeah,
No.
because it used to always be down
the
in
night,
Melbourne,
yeah.
and it was because then they get the crowd from the big AFL one that would all come over. So I'm not sure why.
But they played last week.
Well, maybe
I mean, there's teams
you
that
have
play.
to check with Volandis, mate. He'll be able to. You got his number? I'll give you his number, and you can have.
I
a
actually
combo
do
with
have
him.
it.
Yeah, perfect.
While you guys chat about it, let me have a look and see who is actually playing next Easter Monday. Sorry, Anzac Day.
Well, we previewing 2 weeks ahead now.
Yeah, why not?
I've actually got it. Yeah, that was my other third favourite.
There's
game
actually
in season.
3 games on. So now you've got the Warriors taking on the Knights
Yeah.
on Anzac Day.
Oh,
the
what a-
Storm
that is a good
taking on the
replacement.
Rabbitohs, and then the Roosters Dragons, which you've played in.
Yeah, I have twice.
Impact
3
player.
times, sorry.
3
1,
times.
2.
Terrific.
Jimmy Maloney.
Sorry, so you ended up going Dolphins or Storm? Dolphins Storm. Give me some
Oh,
stats,
mate.
please.
I think the Storm will put an absolute clinic on them.
That's it. That's everything.
Dolphins were
Yeah,
good
I
last
don't have
week.
much. They were-
Dolphins were good against Penrith.
They were, and they got the same 17. Storm have won 78% of their games at Suncorp. What a win record for an away.
There's a lot of Queenslanders in there.
There
so
are.
There's a lot
So
of
it's like a home game. I've always said that. GI, he was from there.
home
Oh,
game.
hold on. No, he grew up in Maxwell.
Melbourne to Brisbane, home game.
Are you picking
Yeah, I'm
Melbourne
going
or
Storm as well.
Okay.
Hard to-
Warriors Bronx? I've got you down to do this one, Jimmy. That'll be your first game on Saturday.
Well, if you remember, weeks and weeks ago, I did say that Warriors would win every one of their home games. So they're massive outsiders, but the Broncos have still shown inconsistency. And with the travel to Auckland, the Warriors are always a better side at home. I'm going to throw it up there that there might be an upset.
Ooh.
The Warriors to beat them in a big upset.
I don't like to agree with him too much, the young fella here on my left, but I actually have that feeling as well. Capewell is in the centres, I noticed. But Fisher Harris, he's done his pack. He's out. Chance Nichols out.
Oh, what can I?
Yeah.
I didn't look at all the stats of his.
But Broncos only have a 35% win rate in NZ Though they've won their last 3 or 4 in New Zealand.
Just so I know, if I was working at NRL.com and I'm searching through and I'm doing all the maths on these stats, if I watched this show, are you literally saying everything that I've researched?
No. No, I know. I do a bit of other research.
Okay, where else?
.com NRL.
No, League
Thanks to
Unlimited. I'll get
NRL.com.
on the forums under my burner account. Jimmy Maloney.
Okay, very good. Sorry, did you go Warriors or Broncos?
Yeah, I'm actually going up the wires.
Up the Wars. Roosters take on the Panthers. Roosters, they've got their tails in the air after that win over the Bronx
Hugo
and the Panthers.
Sabala.
Yeah, and the Panthers, they continue the slide, really, don't they?
The wheels are off. The wheels are off.
Are they gonna flip but at some point, or are they gonna keep going?
Well, they got Kenny back. They're still missing Brighton. They put Targo onto the bench, and they got that Garner bloke in the centres because they just looked fragile on the edge of last week. But yeah, look, I don't know.
So Dill Edwards is back. He was back last week.
He played last
wasn't
week,
he?
yeah.
But he's going to have another game under his belt. Mitch Kenny's
He makes a lot
important for him. Nath there. Look, the only thing is Roosters and Penrith have already played, and obviously there was a big upset with the Roosters. Does that change things? Does that give you a bit more? Like, I think it's like anything when you're one of those ruts, you just need one win. Penrith just need to find one. It won't be pretty, but they just need to grind one out and find one.
There was some comments, not on NRL.com.
But on a different forum you were on.
Yeah, just there was reference to Yowie and Cleary saying like they're going to lead him out of this. So I think there is a bit of pressure on them now, but
maybe they're tired of winning from in front and they think if we want to make a real story.
Come from behind. It is good coming from behind.
I like where you go with that, Jeremy.
Titans.
Oh, I get it now.
Titans Raiders.
So who did we tip?
Just then. Sorry, you both went Roosters, didn't you?
I'm going to go Panthers. That may change on the Saturday night.
Can you do that again?
I look like a horse.
You do look like a horse.
Someone shout out, they give me Ron Perlman last week, Sons of Anarchy. Right into this world all alone.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's hard. I'll go. Oh. Do you know what? I've tipped Penrith week after week as they're getting run, so they got to turn at some point. So I'll stick with Penrith.
Panthers, very good. Titans Raiders. That's on Sunday at 2:00, Easter Sunday. They'll have their chocky eggs in the morning, and
Oh, coach.
then they'll go,
heavy.
too many eggs.
Oh,
yeah.
too many bunnies.
Jimmy, I'm looking at you. Titans Raiders. Raiders are they're flying.
Yeah, they were very good in Darwin. Whether I think probably the chances are, the danger I suppose is what have they done? You reckon they've gone back home, back to Canberra?
Don't know because that was that a Saturday?
Being a double leg, have they gone straight Darwin to Gold Coast?
I reckon it's Saturday. They would have had a night out, then they would have went back to Canberra.
Back to Canberra.
Because it's a Sunday game.
Yeah, right. Long turnaround. So the danger obviously there is that obviously that humidity and that can just take a bit more out of you than what you thought. You could be a bit flat. Titans were disappointing last week up at home, but on form, Raiders are going, they're going all right.
They're looking good, really good.
I think obviously Jamal Fogarty, his kicking game's very important to that side, the way they finish their sets. They've got a lot of unconventional play, but he's the one that keeps kicking them into good positions and a lot of his future's up in the air. So I reckon he'll want to keep playing well. So I'm going to go Raiders.
Did either of you ever play for Ricky in all those many clubs you played for?
Yes, Tim.
No Origin Ricky, no.
Well, I went to an emerging blues camp.
Right.
Isn't there a yarn attached to that?
Yeah.
Let's hear it. Come on.
We went to emerging blues and we were told to not get on the drink. Well, lo and behold, we ended up on the drink. And
was it just you?
No, there was all. So we ended up.
Don't throw them under the bus.
There was a few of us, and we basically. I was over at the Warriors at the time, so I'd come over and we're staying down in Coogee, and we're walking around in the sun. We're like, geez, I could murder a beer. And then we sort of went one in, all in. We can't be angry at everyone. And then we had a bit of a night, and there was a funny story the next day. had a bit of a training session. A few boys were under the weather and we didn't train that well. Sticky's blown up at Fafita and had a crack at him. But he walked in and goes, stand up if you had a beer last night. And I think he only thought there were like a handful. And pretty much the whole room just went, and then he sort of had to backtrack, but he give us all a spray and he's going, what do you think you're doing? And he pointed to me and he goes, how many rep games have you played? And I said, a couple. And I think it sort of rattled him because Timmy Moulton come over at the end and goes, what? Under 15 Central Coast. Like, what? So, anyway, but apparently after that I was
Blacklisted?
Yeah.
By Ricky, blacklisted?
In 2012.
Shout out Ricky Stewart. I love you, bro. I blacklisted him too.
So, yeah, that was a bit of a laugh.
Mate, you've got a few good Origin yarns.
I've got a heap of Origin.
All right, let's hear it.
That one you were telling me that. Oh, I actually can't repeat that on camera. Rumour or Trumor?
Let's keep going. Storm Warriors is not the game next. The next game is Knights Sharks. Knights, well, you picked them, be your wooden spooners. Sharks beat the Eagles in Perth.
I didn't see that clash. I don't know how convincing they were, but
yeah,
I didn't see it.
They were good, but it's very Manly. Manly are sort of up and down, aren't they? Like Manly,
a bit like your moods.
Flog a side and then they get flogged, but that's sort of been Manly for a while now. Unfortunately, that's sort of the sort of side they are. But I think, I think Cronulla. Who have they got? Knights.
Knights
Sharks can't score points. So as long as they keep them under 10 as long as they score more than 10 points.
As long as they score. No, that's 10 points in the last 3 games total.
As long as they score more than 4 points.
If you score,
they score a point.
If Sharks can score 3 tries, then the Knights won't be able to score that many. So.
No.
Is that your Lachie Statsy?
Nah, it was actually that last game, but you didn't ask my input on the Titans-Raiders game.
Nah, let's go back then.
No, I just had Titans have lost 3 of their last 4 at Seabus. Raiders have won 9 of their last 10 against the Titans. And Titans haven't defeated the Raiders at Seabus since 2018. So if you're a punter, I don't know, I'd have a Mouldy on it. Get it? Jimmy Maloney.
I don't get it.
You'll see soon. Sorry, you weren't there when we were studying the
Okay,
form.
sorry. Knights, Sharks, you're going who?
Sharks
Sharks.
by
Tigers.
a fin.
Tigers, Eels. Who you got?
Tigers, Eels. Oh, you know what?
Tigers have made a change in the halves. I think I'm just reading here.
They have.
Yeah.
I haven't heard
Moses
much
is
about
back.
it.
Moses is back.
Mitch Moses is.
Mitch Moses is back.
Wow.
So
you
he
know what?
probably-
On a Easter weekend,
Mate.
getting biblical, like Lachie a bit earlier, Moses parted the
They
sea.
might get the
didn't he?
chocolates. Oh, boom.
Moses parted the sea, didn't he? So
He did.
he might part the Tigers' defence.
Yeah, they do like coming from behind.
Look, I don't know, but I reckon there could be a bit of disruption. Obviously, a bloke in your spine who's been there changing that. Who have they got in? Because they had that young
Adam
Adam
Dewey's
Dewey.
playing for
Adam
him.
Dewey.
Yeah.
So he's out there. So yeah, look, I'm gonna say. Geez, it's hard to tip the Eels, but far out. Look, I want to tip Parramatta, but holy shit, they're hopeless.
Well,
Mosey's
50 to
back.
12.
Mosey's
Is Moses?
back.
Is
Mate,
he
but
38
they-
points difference?
Mate. Like,
He'd be
what's
happy, wouldn't he, that
doing?
all the chats around
Talking to me,
Galvin.
man, Sammy Mower this morning. Shout out, Sammy.
Sammy, shout out.
Oh,
How's he
mate,
going?
it's some hard yakka there at the,
Yeah.
I honestly, it's a flip of the coin. You can't back either of them.
Grab a coin.
You can't. Has
I don't
anyone
have a
got a
coin.
coin? We'll flip a coin.
Anyone got a mark? Coin.
So, have you got a coin? We need to flip something to work
Oh,
out
you know
who'll
what?
win because
Have you got you
Well, I
got
just
some
want to give a special
stats?
shout
flip
out.
Latsie's phone.
Okay,
No, what?
but you didn't say which one was which.
That's
Yeah.
tails. That's tails.
That's tails.
Here we go. Tom's got a
Tommy's got
coin.
us.
Righto. Here we go. This is how we're going to work out between.
You got to say which one's which.
All right. Who do you want? Your Parramatta. Heads or tails?
I'll go tails.
Okay.
There it is.
Oh!
Parramatta are going to end the streak.
Congratulations to the Eels. Have you got anything on Tigers, Eels, Latsy, Statsy?
Mate, I just want to give a shout out to the 2 front rows at West Tigers. Terrell May is coming second in the Dally M leaderboard, but Fanua Pole and him are playing fantastic. So I just want to give a shout out to a couple of front rowers.
So are they the only 2 front rowers playing good at the moment?
Honestly, No.
Do you think that they will?
So why the special shout out?
I was just shouting him out.
Do you think that will make a difference in their play this weekend?
I honestly,
did you hear that we got a shout out from
One of
Latimore?
the
So you know
great
what?
bench front rowers shouted out.
And I'll give a shout out to the bench props because I've been there myself. Twowley, what's up? And Jack Bird, he's a front rower now. I think, honestly, they will make the difference and they'll get the dub. I know he spoke about disruption and Mark Coyne had other plans, but I am going to go with the West Tigers. They grinded out a pretty tough win up there in Newey against a team who doesn't know how to score points.
A tough win.
Huh?
Newcastle were awful.
Huh? Yeah, but it depends how you watched it.
How did
I
you
watched
watch
it
it?
from the bench. So I am going to go the West Tigers.
West Tigers, right? They are sitting in 7th. Like
They
all this
are.
chat about, Tigers, what are they doing? They're actually doing all right this year, sitting in 7th. That's congratulations to them.
Wait, I'm going to ask you boys, are you coming up to watch me fight next weekend?
Are you fighting? Haven't heard anything about it.
Who are you fighting against?
You're fighting a fighter,
He reckons he is.
so you're not even fighting another
Are you going to
boxer.
keep discrediting everything I do in the boxing
No,
game?
I'm just saying, are you fighting a
He is
boxer?
such a negative
I
individual.
just want you to fight a boxer.
I did, first fight.
Okay.
See what? You're boxing a bloke that doesn't box.
So you've
No,
gone
he's
from a
been- he's-
boxer and now you're going to a non-boxer.
No, I don't
Isn't
know.
that-
He was happy to fight me. I'm representing the Journeyman. You should be like, mate, you are pushing
Mate, I'm-
our cause.
Hold on, because we had a call through the week.
Oh, here we
and
go.
I said, Lachie, I might be able to come up. And you went, don't worry about it too much.
No, I don't want him in my corner because I originally wanted him in my corner.
Why
but
doesn't
his
he want me?
negativity, I don't like him bringing me down. You know, I call him gravity. Always bringing me down.
Yeah.
I'm putting him up. Jimmy Maloney, you're the
Yeah.
man, bro. Here's some more cash, Jimmy. You need it.
What's the name of the bloke you're fighting? Just so we can.
Shout out Cole Vanderpoel. You're about to go 0-1.
Carl Vanderpoel, can you stand up and give us some action?
Can you
Like
shadow
show
box
us some.
him? Just give us-
Can you
Absolutely not. I'm not
just
giving
a little
away
bit-
too many of my cheeks. Show my big jaw. Where is it? It's tough.
Okay, what are you going to do it in? How many rounds?
Look, mate. Anyone's a puncher's chance in heavyweight boxing, but I'm just looking forward to getting back into the ring representing the Journeyman. I'm flying the flag as Jimmy started to
Definitely
pull his
didn't
weight.
answer my question.
Huh? No.
Can you
that's
tell
what you
us-
do. You talk around it.
Oh, looking forward to
Second
representing the
round.
Journeyman.
Big
Second
ballsy
round.
statement. What are you going to do?
I'll have it done by the end of the second round.
How many rounds are there?
2.
So you mean done by knockout, or you mean I'll win on
No,
points?
that's true. Yeah, I might be joking.
I'll win on points.
What's his strength? What's he got? He's got like a mean left hook.
I
you haven't
genuinely
studied
don't know
him.
anything about him. I know he's got a podcast.
Is he Southpaw or is he?
See, he could surprise me to come out Southpaw because I've only prepared with Orthodox, so I could be in for surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Oh.
But I'm glad I brought it up.
Anyway, I'll
you're
be
so
there.
supportive. It's great.
Mate, what do you mean? I'll be there.
Where is
I'm
it
gonna
on?
Be in your corner.
No, you're not coming to my corner.
What do you
When is
mean?
it on?
Next Saturday, day after Anzac Day. Shout out.
I'll be
April
right
26th.
behind you.
No, you wouldn't. You'll probably, actually, you know what? You'll probably jump in his corner. Fucking smash, Jerry.
No, I won't. I'll throw the towel in for
Oh, may the best man win.
Yeah, thanks, Professor.
Mate, we're all
I'm
in
going
the
for
corner,
you.
mate.
I
Cheer
am going
up.
for you.
I don't like your energy, eh?
Okay.
Sorry,
What do
we
you want me to
won't
do?
go for him because he just can't take our.
Latsy, I reckon you'll make orphans of this bloke's children. Is that what you want me to say?
No, I don't want him to get hurt that bad.
What do you want me to say? You tell me what to say and then I'll say it and we'll
Whatever
edit
you
it.
say is not
You're
good
the
enough.
man. You're the man, Latsy.
That's better. That's what
You're the
I mean.
man,
Jerry,
mate.
you're the man.
You'll be 2-0.
You're the man. You're the man.
You're the
my
heavyweight
good
champ
man.
in my heart.
You'll have won 2 fights after next week.
There is a bit of news about, let's get into that, a little bit of clickbait collectors. This little stoush between Jonathan Thurston and Spencer Leniu just will not go away. Spencer's obviously come up to him post-match, had a good crack at old JT. I mean, what do you make of this, guys? We all think we know the story. Is that the story? That
Well, what was the story as it panned out? Was it
was-
that basically Spencer didn't like JT's comments where he basically come out and, thought that his penalty for the racial slur was too soft.
Yes.
But basically when Ezra Mann come out and had let's be honest, it's the biggest scandal of any NRL scandal,
Yes.
bar none, like by the length of the straight, that he sort of didn't say anything about that. So, yeah, I think, mate, they're both fair comments. Like, I
Amazingly,
know the talk has been that no one went to JT and asked about, his thoughts on the Ezra Mann thing, but I don't know. You'd have to go back. You'd think if he's in the media, it was spoken about for a long time. You'd think at some stage something was said about it, but mate, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's between those two.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But he was obviously pretty fired up about it.
Yeah, but I think there's no harm in if you've got a problem with someone, just because it's Jonathan Thurston and he's on the side of a football game, you go up and you talk to him. It's like LeBron James.
Well, I think it was the other way though.
Yeah, they didn't go and push.
No,
and
that's
shove.
right. They're just having an
They
argument.
had an argument.
Yeah.
That's
It's fine.
Well,
people do it in their house, like their mums and dads, and people disagree on
You do it
things.
at work all the time.
And it's okay to disagree with people.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. And it's okay to do. Like, it wasn't, people might go, oh, he's very aggressive in it. But, mate, he walked over and, it was a heated argument. Like, who cares, really?
Yeah, look, I agree. I think Spencer, he said something on his socials about he has no problem with JT having an opinion and the way he was, but I think he went up and tried to talk to him and befriend him, and that was what set Spencer off.
I see.
That's how I read that.
There's also the vision of Trent Robinson in the
tunnel
having a crack at JT.
Well, I think that
No. I think Thursday went to see him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think we did Thurston go into
I think Thursday went to see Robbo
sheds
just to find out what the go
and then
was.
they basically said, look, it's probably not the time after a heated exchange is probably anyway. But
That's
you know
Rugby
the
League.
good thing, arguments are fine. It's not like the problem is if you had a problem with our man Lachie with his boxing record, that's
I see
when
what
there's
you
some
mean.
Wesley Naguamas there.
Yeah.
But anyone else who's just, having a yarn and having an argument, that's fine. But hey, don't have a problem with our man Lachie.
with Latsie's boxing.
Oh,
I
It's
get
only
it.
Jimmy. Gravity.
I can.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
you're-
just saying, you don't want to have a go at you because you never know.
Now you're yelling at me.
He's actually not allowed to use them because they're seen as weapons these days, aren't they?
Have you
Isn't
mate,
it? As
no.
As a professional fighter, your hands are.
have you
aren't
licensed them? Are they
classed
like
as-
guns now?
Yeah, but have I told you the Jimmy and Maloney story to do with what he had written on his
Yeah, you have.
arm
You've
guards?
told that.
Have I told you that, Professor?
I don't think you've
told it.
told.
Well, let's go back there.
No, you haven't
'Cause
told
he's
it on
talking
here, I
about
don't
dangerous weapons, right? So this Wally before a reserve grade game. Yep, Jimmy Maloney played reserve grade with your man Lats back in 2008. And Jimmy used to get around like Conor McGregor because he was playing all right in the Reggie's comp. And he wrote Des and Troy on his arms. And we're warming up. We had an old school coach called Rip Taylor who was the king. He goes, hey, Jimmy, what do you got written on your arm? He goes, Des and Troy. When I combine them, we destroy. He goes, get in the sheds and get them off before I freaking put you on the bench.
Did you destroy that game,
Hey,
Jimmy? Did you?
I destroyed those arms at pads.
And he had mad big bicep guards.
You did. You always play with the bicep guards.
Yeah,
Why
well-
was that? What did that used to do?
Well, you sort of had two options. It was work out in the gym and grow the biceps
Right,
or strap
or
them on game day. And I went the second option, strap them on game day.
What's the biggest hit you ever did, Latsy? Do you remember in a game where you destroyed someone, where you just and then you stood over him and went, "I've just nailed it"? Did you ever
there
do?
was a couple.
Didn't you see his first fight?
Not boxing in the ring. I mean in the game. You've come off the bench
I
and you
didn't
just.
finish him. Don't. It's the sour point.
Is there anybody you ever just went, "I
No, I
nailed
put a
him"?
couple of good shots on.
Yeah.
I remember there was one, actually, we're playing against the Roosters and I shot out, I don't remember, and I put a shot on Dill Napa and the ball went flying. And I was like, yeah, I think they beat us. He's like, he just started ripping into me going, shut up, Lachie, you're getting flogged or whatever. And I was like, oh, yeah. He just really humbled me.
That's a big body to hit, though, Dylan.
Yeah, but the ball, I must have just hit on the ball and it just went coming.
I think the ball came out because Napa offloaded and we scored a try.
No way, bro. It was a forced error.
Jimmy,
But there were a couple in me time.
did you ever have a moment where you absolutely flogged someone and then you
I
stood up?
flogged heaps.
Did you?
Well, go on YouTube and have a look, mate. You've been
Is
there
there?
for
If I
ages.
type it
You
on
would
YouTube
not
right
have
now,
a defensive hit
You've
in
been
your
there for ages.
highlights.
I'm going to go to
Mate,
YouTube
heaps
now while you're chatting. And what do I type in? Jimmy's biggest hits. Jimmy
Mate, I went
Maloney's.
to go on Michael Gordon one day on an inside ball and up in him, mate. Dead set. There's that many of them.
He's so humble, this guy.
Jimmy
I'm
Maloney's.
just saying.
Oh, I've got here.
Do you know the big one will be Isaac Luke because my kids
Yeah.
watch it all the time.
2018 NRL big hits. Isaac Luke smashes Jimmy
Yeah.
Maloney.
Oh, he smashed him.
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
cool.
wow.
There was a bouncing ball and I jump up, took a bouncing ball, and then as I was coming down, Isaac Luke just fisted me and
Yeah, we'll pop that one in. That's great. He absolutely flogged you there. I'm just having a hard time finding.
No, look harder,
Jimmy's-
mate. There's plenty out there.
Anyway, what's
Yeah,
next,
sorry.
Professor?
No.
Just move on. I've actually got to hear about the Shire.
Okay, right. So we've reached that time of the podcast. It's everybody's favourite moment. It's called Jimmy's Rumour or Trumor. Jimmy.
We got a multi, don't we, first?
Before we get to that, you didn't let me finish. Before we get to Rumour or Trumor, it's time for Maloney's Multi. I didn't have that in the rundown.
Oh,
Bad
Wow.
producing. Let me put it in now. Maloney's Multi. Give it to us, Jimmy.
And
Well-
he's running off my stats.
we're going to, on the back of the Raiders' strong performance last week, we're going to stick with the green machine. All right, we've got Raiders to score 4+ tries with Chris, what's his first
Sebastian
name?
Chris.
Sebastian Chris and Xavier Savage to both be try scorers. So we are still waiting on a price, but when we put this up on socials, it will be sitting there as normal. Gamble responsibly. What could you really be gambling with?
I probably forgot his line.
Oh, yeah. That was Maloney's Multi. Make sure you get on that. And if you, that's how you show your support for the show, I think,
Yeah.
based on people that jump on.
Let's go.
Go into the specials on the BetR app.
Yeah.
Then they know that.
I think they're back in surplus now because Jimmy hasn't hit for 6 weeks.
Perfect.
But
So,
you know what? Bang, 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 and we're back, baby. Hey, you want to fill your pockets? Get on better. Go the
fantastic.
specials down. Journeyman, clean up.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. From Maloney's Multi, we now go to Jimmy's Rumour or Trumor. We're all happy to get to
Yeah.
there now.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you are a man that has your ear on the ground. There is
Yes.
no journalist that's doing the muck raking that you're doing currently.
Well,
Give us what you got this week.
All right. Well, had a spoke. So there was an artist, an American artist, on tour last time he was out last year. All right, and there was a former or ex-NRL star who ended up backstage at the rapper's concert and ended up in a bit of a sexual encounter with the rapper and multiple other women.
Really?
Yes.
How big are we talking, like, in terms of rapper? Like, are we talking like Eminem status or like Chingy?
Did Eminem-
Where are
Is
we?
there levels?
Did Eminem
There's Eminem,
come
there's
up?
Chingy. Did he come out here last year?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
was
who was
Drizzy.
out here last year?
Drizzy, Drake.
Drake was, is it Drake?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I know you have to go back into the vault and do your own research. I don't give away my sources. You know this.
That's a really good one.
Yes.
Rapper, ex-player, and just a massive
women.
orgy. That is a good one. Get on.
Classic.
Have a guess. Guess the guess the rapper, guess the ex-NRL player, and guess how the orgy went. That'll be great. All right. Hey, that is it. That's the show, gentlemen. Again, a big
What
thanks
a show.
to BetR. You guys are fantastic. Good luck to Toby on the weekend. He never watches us back, but hope
Shout
he
out,
goes.
Boxy.
Yeah, we were talking off air, obviously beforehand, about possibly looking. Are we allowed to bet on Toby's under or overs minutes?
Probably without Toby knowing.
We'll get some clarity.
We can't.
We're going to get some clarity from our better representative, and we'll see if maybe next week, if the Sharks game, we might delve into it, and we might, if we get Toby up and playing really well, Fitzy will just have no reason at all to take him off, and then we can just back him to play 50 minutes plus.
Okay, I like that. The other one I want to bet on
It'd be a big
is
jump in minutes.
Can we bet on your? Can we?
Oh,
Mate.
sinking the boot in when he's not
Mate,
in. That's
you don't do it when he's here, do you?
I would 100% say that. I'm going to say it to the face, say it behind.
Mate.
Coach.
What about? Can we bet on your boxing bout? Can we guess how many rounds?
I think there may be a
Actually-
market.
Rich from Better, let's get a market on Lachie beating his opponent.
Would
Or
you
getting
be?
beaten.
Yeah. What would you be? Shorter odds at the moment to
We'd
win?
like to
or-
hope so. He's not even a boxer, the other bloke.
But I heard these other podcasters, because they tagged me on their thing, and they have him as favourite. So I didn't take that personal.
Oh, so he's got a bee in his bonnet now. Look out. What's his name? Vanderpool. Look out, my man Lachie's coming at you. Bush.
You need him in your corner, mate.
No.
Look at that sort of energy.
Bush.
I want him on the card next year
Left,
because
right,
the podcast.
good night.
All right, at Rugby League Journeyman, follow us, like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Thanks to BetR. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Ciao for now.
What a great video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. There is a like button down here. There's a subscribe button down here somewhere. Also, I think you can click down here and you can watch more videos of us. If you didn't like it, you can go f yourself.